I'm sick of jealousy tropes always being romantic. I don't care about two guys fighting over a girl. Show me a new guy coming into the friend group and one of them fearing that his best friend status is being challenged. Relationship tropes from Tumblr. Is it really enemies/rivals/annoyances to lovers if they don't have to dance together at least once? A visual romantic trope I think we should use more, especially in office environments, is like person A at their desk doing regular work stuff, but person B is on their lap. Like this crappy diagram. Bonus points if someone comes in and is like, what the heck? And A is like, no, I'm still working. Extra bonus points if someone comes in and doesn't question it whatsoever. One of those friends with benefits rom-coms, but it's just these two people who don't like each other very much, but are both very passionate about their interests and love listening to other people talk about their interests. They decide to hang out to listen to each other talk, but it's supposed to be a no-strings-attached situation. They're not looking for friendship, but sometimes friendship goes looking for you. Favorite relationship trope? The jaded guy who has been traumatized and struggled with love for so long he gives up on love entirely, and the bouncy, overly happy guy full of optimism that makes the jaded guy warm up, and before he knows it, the jaded guy has fallen in love for real for the first time in his life, and he absolutely hates it. Bonus points if the jaded guy was in the closet and didn't realize it. Niche relationships I'd like to see in fanfics, starting with Wedding planner x person who crashed the wedding. I've officially decided my favorite relationship trope is, at first I was perpetually bothered by your mere existence, but somewhere along the way, you became my best friend and oh yeah, I'm also in love with you. Nothing else matters. I hate it when the character is like, and I don't know what me and this person important to me are yet, but I want to survive long enough to figure it out. And then what they are is always heterosexual, monogamous, romantic relationship. I want characters who get weird with it. Whereas my kisses you on the mouth, let's be best friends forever. Whereas my we defeated the bad guy, and you're like a son to me by the way. Whereas my kisses you on the mouth, kisses him on the mouth, kisses her on the mouth, everyone makes out with tongue. Is it odd that I kind of want more awkward first couples, especially when they transition from best friends to lovers, or it's between teenagers who have supposedly never dated, or at least one hasn't? Like, I feel it's weird when we see one or both have never really had time to date in the dystopian or adventuristic young adult setting, and they immediately know what to do. I mean, give me couples that start off with baby steps in their relationship progress because they don't really know how this sort of thing goes, but are willing to learn. To me, there's something more sweet about that, where they don't really understand what it means to date and love someone romantically, but figure it out together. Ship dynamic I go rabid for. You are a complex, nuanced, amazing person. I see you trying your very best. I see how the world kicks you down again and again, but you just keep spitting out gravel and getting back to your feet. I want to give you safety. I want to give you a break. I want to give you everything. I see how your failures have made you think so poorly of yourself. I wish you could see how wrong you are. I wish you could see yourself the way I see you. I wish you could see how incredible you are and how much better you deserve than what life has given you. You think you're rotten through and through, but there's a good heart beating inside you, and all the sharp, rusty armor in the world can't hide how brightly it's shining. Me, though? I'm just the worst. It's mutual. Relationship trope where character A says something to character B, and then a while later character B says the same thing to character A because their roles are switched. Pretty popular man x unimpressed smart woman is top tier and needs more love. Pretty man is usually a simp too, which makes it even better. What is that one trope you always fall for? Mine is the male wife x girl boss. There's nothing better than a himbo who knows his wife can step on him and likes it. Your Honor, they're anxious autistic for depressed ADHD. Tall small, but the tall one is emotionally small, and the small one is emotionally tall. A++. A trope I just realized I'm weak for. Character A and character B are sitting side by side in a long moment of silence after some difficult moment or conversation, and A reaches for B's hand without a word. Without moving their head, without even questioning it, B catches A's hand in return. Bonus points if, prior to this, we didn't know they even really considered each other friends or like each other. Characters who say they aren't dating, not because they don't want to be associated with the other person, but because they don't want the other person to be associated with them. The dynamic. Eyes full of life. Dread. Character A collapsed in character B's arms, while character B glares over A's shoulder at a threat, either real or imagined, and kinda digs their hands in or squeezes A tighter. Unparalleled. Peak dynamic. Dog who will bite you if you try to take away their toy. Person who has everything left to lose in their arms and is making a decision to fight for it. Jealous little asshole trying to give the third degree to a random barista. It's always great. Friendship or relationship dynamic we need more of. Menace to society plus living moral compass. Enemies to lovers has to be slow burn, and they have to hate each other. They have to hate that they want each other. There has to be a giant conflict in morals, in opinions, in ideas. They have to be so evil and mean to each other. Look. Enemies to lovers, supreme. Friends to lovers, feeds my decrepit soul. But y'all sleep on soulmates. I don't mean magical soulmate like the color thing or the tattoo words. I mean, we met when we were little tiny children without a care in the world, and I fell in love with you then and there, but I didn't know. As we grew, you were like the other half of me, and I knew without a doubt I would marry you someday, and everyone around us acts like it's inevitable, and we both know it is too. What about, I am yours and you are mine, and that's just a fact of the universe? What about, I knew we were made for each other before I could begin to understand what that means? Friends to lovers, enemies to lovers? What about inevitable lovers? Family fluff is honestly the ultimate genre or trope. Almost any characters of almost any dynamic, and you can write family fluff. Large age gap? Parent and child, whether legally or biologically or otherwise. Small age gap? Siblings. Romantically involved? Add a few more characters or give them a child even just to babysit, and it's family fluff. Trope that I love. Someone who can clearly do the thing, but act like they need help, so a person who isn't as good gets joy thinking they're helping them. Wouldn't it be cuter if the man takes reluctant girlfriend camping trope was flipped? It was his idea because he wants to impress her with how big and strong he is, but she turns out to be way more experienced than him. Like, she shows up wearing a bandana, a buff, some gaiters, and a very heavy pack, just excited and ready to freaking go feral, and leaves him in her heckin' dust the whole weekend. But instead of being all insecure, he's just stars in his eyes, enamored with her. Okay, now, I'm not an expert, but antagonist has a loved one killed or hurt by an even bigger threat, so they reluctantly team up with the protagonist to deal with the bigger threat, is a top-tier trope. Even better if they fall in love at the same time, but not a requirement. A character that falls in love with a monster, physically or metaphorically, and eventually gets them to start believing that they're not actually evil or disgusting or any of the other horrid things they think of themselves, only to have the monster reawakened in some way, and their love is trying everything they can to save them, but they eventually get attacked. And the last thing they see is the bloodlust fading from their lover's eyes and the bloom of horror as they realize what they've done. And the last thing the monster sees as they're coming out of this fugue state is their lover's smiling face filled with love and adoration as the light begins to leave their eyes. Anyway, we all know the best relationship trope is external disaster, internal disaster. Guy who cries all the time. Girl who does the same, but in cool shades. I feel like nobody ever talks about one of my favorite shipping tropes, something I've decided to call famous idol x normal person. It can create so much cute fluff, but also so much angst. And I love that type of stuff, that's the good stuff right there. B is someone who is determined to serve and worship A no matter what. And B's attitude makes A uncomfortable, cause what they want or need is a friend, not a servant or a slave. I feel like there's a lot of tragic wolf and sheep symbolism used for lovers in books, and that's super cool, but I think they should be more cat and mouse lovers. One purposefully and gracefully hunting the other, no less animalistic than the wolf, but more relaxed in the way they run around with the rat. As much as I love sweet and healthy couples, I also love equally toxic couples, as long as it's shown to be so. Like, neither of them are good people, and they absolutely deserve each other. Yes, take them off the market so no other poor soul has to deal with them. But they still hold a twisted sense of love for their partner. It's like, I will drag you down with me, and I will be more than content to drown with you. They're not good for each other, and they know it, but they just can't let each other go because they're both a pair of messed up individuals who really only have their partner at their side, regardless of how much they hurt the other. I love ships where they aren't really into each other and are really just using each other, but despite this, or perhaps because of this, there's a level of understanding. They've seen each other at their most pathetic and cruel and still accepted it, because there's recognition. The unique camaraderie of two people who are the same type of ugly inside. Knight in shining armor girlfriend with a damsel in distress boyfriend. I'm so soft for the friends to lovers trope, but my favorite relationship trope is the enemies in public, but secretly a strangers to friends to lovers trope. Like, just the thought of two people, or even more, being told by everyone that they're enemies, rivals, or just competing. They don't know each other personally. Hell, they don't even hate each other. Only plain curiosity of who the other is and why everyone keeps saying that they're each other's nemesis. And when they do meet, they find each other complementary to their own, similar enough in their interests, slotting in each other's lives without really minding what others think they are. A fresh perspective on each other. Perhaps they're going for the same goal, perhaps they're opposites, but in the end, the quiet respect of each other is plain and clear. Maybe one of them falls in love first, maybe both of them fell in love and never noticed until later, maybe getting together domestically. Nothing flashy, but a slow burn as they explore their dynamics separate from everyone else's perspective. Because, in the end, that's how relationships form between strangers into friends. And maybe something more. Friends to lovers this, enemies to lovers that. Where's my strangers to lovers, huh? Where's my, I don't know your name and I can only guess your favorite color from your outfit, but I would jump in front of a train if it meant you would wake up another day with your thousand moons smile. Huh? The awkwardness of trying to get to know each other, struggling to find reasons to connect, not knowing what drags your feet to follow the other one. The slow burn. Looking back at the first meeting on their wedding day, where's that? Honestly, one of my favorite ship dynamics that I never see folks talk about is where they're just orbiting each other like satellites. A deep closeness, but not quite something explicitly romantic. Everyone around them has conflicting opinions on the relationship, but they never label it. Heartfelt declarations of trust, love, and friendship are non-negotiable. My favorite ship dynamic is pathetic and divorced and eternally single. A special kind of intimacy between characters, not restricted to romantic dynamics. I tear bread into smaller pieces to feed them to you, as if I am Jesus or a mother bird. You may view me as a savior, but I would kill for you. Being there for the other person when they're sick, in a gross, disgusting way, holding them unwaveringly through the wretched and repulsive, unflinchingly. Don't apologize, just survive. I'd do it again. You're scary, but I'm scarier. You don't know that yet, but I hope you won't fear me when you do. You're scary, and thank God for that. I'm more than happy to close my eyes when you use it on others. I am a coward. One character knowing exactly what the other one would really like to ask for, but is too self-conscious or selfless to. Thus, they do it and provide without the other person needing to outright request it. The self-conscious character always makes sure the other one knows it's not obligated, and they're always free to decline, and the other one nods firmly, knowing that, and still doing it. You destroyed the thing I love, and I can't forgive you for it. I can't forgive myself either. I still can't hate you despite that. I can. One character understanding when the other is in too low of a state to act like a decent person currently, and so they don't step over those lines that they'd normally tolerate. The first character holds the other one responsible for things later nonetheless, when they're able to actually carry it. Two characters sharing the negative perceptions and opinions they've had of each other over the years, this can either lead to a realization that, respectfully, out of deep understanding of each other, they decided to not stay in touch with each other again from now on. Or it can lead to a realization that, thanks to this understanding they now have, they're more ready to become closer and have managed to clear the air with this conversation. Remember, all good hero-villain dynamics are just Perry and Doofenshmirtz, all good relationship dynamics are just Gomez and Morticia Addams, and all good group dynamics are just Team Rocket. New relationship trope. Oh, it's just a casual get-together, so wear whatever you want. Elegance. Banana. Reblog or comment with your ships. I'm curious. Big thank you to my Patreon members, my Little Ruse, Seltzer Fountain Man, Kuski55, Fallen Vexen, Sam, Puff, I Am a Noodle, and John Huang. Thank you so much for your extra support. I'm so glad to have you as part of my channel. You guys are amazing. The same goes to my Mini Ruse, my YouTube channel members, AD, Taylor Thompson, Schmidt, and Logan. Again, thank you for your extra support. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. And the same goes to everyone else who watched. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these different tropes and dynamics that the people of Tumblr enjoy. Let me know some of your favorites, and maybe, just maybe, I will make a video in the future with your comments. We'll see. But for now, just have a great day, enjoy your reading and writing, and I will see you next time.